Hey guys, we're back with another video on how to get started with AI and building it out for the sales professional. If you haven't, go ahead and just sign up, subscribe to this channel if you have not already, or if you're inside of one of our Kajabi courses here, go ahead and leave a comment if this has been helpful for you as well. Again, if you're not using AI, or if you have started, but you really want to do it the right way, go ahead and click that link in the description below as an affiliate. You can sign up with our affiliate link. You get access to a whole ton of stuff in our Slack channels, like knowledge bases that are pre-built out for you, and other cool stuff like that. All right, so we just walked through how to build our greatest sales agent of all time with a script that was developed by the AI inside of AI. And then in the top right-hand corner, we've got a knowledge base. Here, we actually built one out and we're connecting in with our real estate knowledge base over here, which is kind of cool. But now we want to actually find out, well, what happens if we call and we have a conversation, but if you watch the last video, someone says, hey, call me tomorrow. But then what happens? So what we would want to do normally is we'd go over into the recording section. This might take a second in order to load. But if we went over into the recording section, we'd be able to pull up the script that just happened with our bot. This is me. And if you listen to the conversation here, you could go to listen and you would be able to hear me talking with the bot. But if you go over to read, you can actually hear everything that I say to the bot, which is amazing because that's really where the valuable information is. Now, the bot didn't actually book an appointment with me. It didn't. It had a conversation. I told it that my wife is really the one who's looking and that her name is Mary and that you should call her. And I gave her a phone number of 1-800-DON'T-CALL or something like that, right? But normally, if an appointment gets booked, great, that's awesome. We're really excited about that. But how do we get that information that something is booked? Or if it's not booked, what about the notes? Now you can go over to the notes section and this AI will simplify this. It says that David is looking for a home with a cul-de-sac for his kids to play basketball in, and he wants to find a neighborhood with great schools. And so that's very helpful. If you do have a sales team like mine, I actually use these notes for them to really just get through the data pretty quickly. So that's pretty helpful. You can always copy those and you can send that over. So maybe you're a sales team manager. You want to jump in here and copy that sales note and send it over. I would not recommend doing this. Maybe if you want to just play around with the demo version, go ahead and do it. I would not release the demo version on your database because it's just way different with the latency. It's different with the amounts that it can handle. It's just a different GPU processing. It's kind of like using one downgraded version of ChatGPT versus another versus like the pro version. It's got way more capabilities to it. I've been encouraging you throughout the videos. If you have not already signed up with our affiliate link, go ahead and do so. Gets you access to our top GPU processing power and allows you to get access to our Slack community channels, etc. So I show people how they can actually get their notes transcribed into their CRMs. So that's been very, very helpful for people. So let's say you're operating in a platform in real estate and you want all of those notes from your conversations to flow directly into your CRM. You can have connections built in between them. And that's what we do. We're happy to set you up with that. And it's been extremely helpful because you can unload this and you can do, I've got 4,000 recordings happening here. That's good if I just want to click, booked appointment, and it'll, list a whole ton of booked appointments here for us, which is really exciting. But the reality is that that's not always what's helpful. Like the booked appointment, great, that's cool. But what I'd rather look at is the follow-up that ends up happening here, okay? Because the follow-up is going to be so many more phone calls of real live conversations that likely happen over the course of 1 minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes. I've got 30-minute conversations that are happening. And what you actually want is you want those conversations to be transcribed. Or if you're going to be a really manual person, do it yourself. Go ahead and listen to every one of these phone calls, jump in and read the scripts. You can go ahead and read them and then send it over to your sales team. Or if you're the one and only person on the sales team, then go for it. You can jump in here and call them yourself. Now, while I'm just on this section here and just navigating to it before I get into some of the actions, if you find that a call goes really well, like let's say this role play call was great, I would go ahead and list this feedback. I'd say, let's say it was great. Okay, cool. But let's say there was a problem. There was long latency, call went silent, experienced 3-second pauses, voice sounded bad, like whatever happened, or they didn't refer to my knowledge base that I connected, I'd want to note that here, and it only helps the bot get better. And then you can actually place where this happens so it doesn't happen again. Now, again, a lot of our stuff, so we've already done this on some of our bots, so it helps you out, but it'll allow you to add additional context here. It's going to read that so that that particular bot, the one that made the call, in this case, it was a role play call with our greatest sales agent of all time, but it's going to try to get that bot to actually become better once it actually takes in that feedback. All right, so let's jump back over, and we're going to go over to our greatest sales agent of all time. And we want to add an action. So let's say that we wanted to get into it and we wanted it to be able to book an appointment, live transfer over. Let's say we're having a phone call with them and they say, I knew that I wanted to see 123 Main Street. And I was so excited, I'd reached out on Zillow.com looking for an agent to help me. And, you guys called me right away. I'd love to go and see it this afternoon. You can actually have the agent live transfer, this AI agent, this bot, transfer the call right over to you while it's on there. Or let's say, it's pre-qualifying the lead and it's like, we want to sell the house. And that if you get someone on the line, one of your leads who had reached out about selling your house, and maybe they call in at 7:00 at night, you're having dinner with your family, and like normally you wouldn't be making those outbound outreaches, but let's say the platform is making those outbound outreaches and following up with the people who did want you to call them. Man, if that's ready, if that's like an actual live transfer call, you could have it transfer call back over to you, and you'd be able to have that conversation with the lead. The other thing that you can do is I'd really recommend adding these in is tell your agent when it's time to hang up. So sometimes you get someone and they're a lead and they've reached out to you and they've said, I want more information on real estate or solar or mortgage or whatever it is. And then throughout the course of time, they decide I want to be on the do not call list. You've got their phone number. They expressly said, please reach out to me about 123 Main Street, whatever it is, mortgage rates or solar. But you call them and they say to you, hey, I'm on the do not call list. You want something in your knowledge base that says, end the call. Like, I don't want to deal with this anymore. Like, I'm so sorry. I apologize. I'm going to remove you from your list, whatever that is. You can have that happen. I'm going to show you what to do. And then on your custom part, you can actually have them, send contracts, et cetera. One of the things that we do is we do a lot of this custom stuff for our clients. So people will say, all right, if a guy says, man, I've been looking for homes in, the Hartford County area, we can have a knowledge base that says, yes, I want, I've been looking for homes in the Hartford County area. You can send me a list of some of your updated listings, and I could have my updated listings on a sheet, on a PDF. I could have my buyer guide, my seller guide to homes, whatever I want. And I could have this bot actually send them a text or an email or whatever it is about what they're looking for, one of my guides, while they're on the phone call, which is absolutely incredible. Because think about that. If you have a real estate sales agent who's trying to follow up with all these leads, they can't, they're trying to handle this. They're trying to be on social media. They're trying to do all these things at the same time. But the problem is like they get distracted and they get tired, they get lazy, they get all these other things. This bot's going to keep making those calls and following up with the people who want you to follow back up with them. And then when they're asking for information, you can just be like, all right, cool. Rather than hit, all right, I got to get distracted and send the thing. And where was that file again? No, it's already pre-built in there and it just sends it for you. So if you want to do those things, you can click the custom actions and it's going to ask you to name the action. So this might be send a guide, right? So send a guide. And then what you'd want to do is you'd want to tell Zapier to trigger this action when the AIR agent says something like this. So if you're in Zapier, if you know how to use Zapier, I'm going to let you guys know right up front, Zapier is not the key to all of this stuff. It has a part to do with it for actions like these, but there's so much more that goes into the background on it as to how to actually build an entire ecosystem where you've got sales actions that are happening, your database is getting updated, it's transcribing the notes. Zapier is not the one that makes all this stuff happen. It's part of the puzzle here, but it's not all of it. So inside of that, you can give it an actual webhook and an actual instructional, and then it will do something that will cause that action to happen. So go ahead and you can save that there. Now, how would you find that? If you wanted to create the action, you could, like I said, you could put that here. You could book the appointment. If you want to connect your calendar calendar, it's going to show you how to connect your calendar here. I'll go over that in another video. But you'd connect your calendar through the book appointment, and then the live transfer, you'd obviously pick your phone numbers that this is going to transfer to. And then when that would happen, it would say like, yes, I'd love to speak with, one of your market experts right now. And you'd give it the web URL webhook URL for the lead data that it would pull. So if you want to get into all that stuff, that's the stuff that we do. It's all the background stuff that gets really, really complicated. It's boring as heck. And you need a development team, honestly, to do it proper. And that's what our service that we provide. So if you wanted to do that, you can. If you want to know how to actually do this yourself, you're going to go up in the top right-hand corner. You're going to go to integrations, and you're going to actually click on your webhooks that are here. These are our webhooks that we have, Twilio's, client APIs, all of these things here. You can click on all of those, and that will clue you in to this data.